Hi class, in lesson 3.1 we will be modeling parts of a whole. Learning targets for today: we will determine equal parts of a whole and draw different representations of equal parts. Key terms to look for in 3.1: fraction, numerator, and denominator. Let's turn to page 96 and take a look at problem 1. In this chapter you will be adding to your knowledge of fractions. As you have already learned, a fraction represents a part of a whole object, set, or unit. A fraction is written using two whole numbers separated by a bar. The number above the bar is the numerator, and the number below the bar is the denominator. The denominator indicates how many parts make up the whole, while the numerator indicates how many parts are counted. There are 10 total bowling pins, and 3 of the pins are knocked down. So you can represent this situation as 3/10. 3 is the numerator, which is the number of bowling pins knocked down, and 10 is the denominator, the total number of bowling pins. Let's turn to page 97. The Student Bowler Association, or SBA, is an organization of student bowlers in grades 3 through 8. Each of the SBA bowling teams consists of 2 student bowlers. Each team is asked to design 2 flags to represent the 2 players on the team. Each team flag must be labeled and evenly divided into thirds, fourths, fifths, sixths, eighths, or twelfths. Each flag has the same dimensions as shown. Answer number 1 with your group members, and remember, if labels aren't provided, use the word unit to describe the dimensions. The flag is 6 units long and 4 units wide, and the total area is 24 square units. Team members Yvonne and Matthew each designed a flag and labeled them fourths and thirds. Here is Matthew's flag labeled in fourths and Yvonne's flag labeled in thirds. At the top of page 98, they showed their flags to team members Dante and Miko. Dante looked at the flags and said, "Your flags don't seem correct. Look at our flags." So here is Dante's flag in fourths and Miko's flag in thirds. Ashley looked at all 4 flags and said, "You are all correct. Each flag shows equal parts of a whole." Answer number 2, letters A and B with your group members. For number 2, letter A, each part of Matthew's flag and Dante's flag represent 6 squares out of 24 total squares, which is also equal to 1/4. For number 2, letter B, each part of Yvonne's flag of thirds and Miko's flag for thirds represent 8 squares out of 24 total squares, which is also equal to 1/3. Turn to page 99. Let's analyze another fractional representation. Answer number 3, letters A through C with your group members. For number 3, letter A, a flag divided into 24 parts with 15 parts shaded could be represented with the fraction 15/24. The 15 represents the number of parts shaded, and the 24 represents the total number of parts in the whole flag. For number 3, letter B, yes, there are 24 total equal parts in the flag. The shaded region represents 15 out of the 24 total parts of the flag. And for number 3, letter C, this is an example of what the shaded representation could look like for 15/24. You might have a different representation, which is fine as long as you shaded 15 out of the 24 square units. Turn to page 100. Fractions can be represented in different ways as long as they have the same equal number of units dividing the whole. This means the way the model of the fraction looks does not affect the value of the fraction. Do number 4 with your group members, letters A through F, and this is going to go all the way to page 105. Here is an example of what your flags could look like for letter A for halves. you need to make sure 12 parts are in each region because there are 24 equal parts in one grid. Examples of what your flags could look like for thirds, you need to make sure 8 parts are in each region because there are 24 equal parts in one grid. Examples of what your flags could look like with fourths, you need to make sure 6 parts are in each region because there are 24 equal parts in each grid. Examples of what your flags could look like for 6, you need to make sure there are 4 parts in each region because there are 24 equal parts in each grid. Examples of what your flags could look like for eighths, you need to make sure there are 3 parts in each region because there are 24 equal parts in each grid. Examples of what your flags can look like for 12ths, you need to make sure that there are 2 parts in each region because there are 24 equal parts in each grid. That will end the lesson on 3.1, modeling parts of a whole. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.